guys, it's Tanya again with PM Yoga Studio. Today we're going to do a slow heat building flow. We'll pick up pace a little bit towards the end, but my hope is that you'll feel strong and energized by the time we get finished. So today we're going to start standing. We're going to have the feet about hip width distance or so. Sometimes I go a little bit wider, it just depends on how my legs are feeling. And you can have your arms resting down at your sides, or you can draw your hands to your heart. And we are going to ground ourselves before we get moving with the breath like we always do. So wherever your hands are, go ahead and roll your shoulders back and possibly think about closing your eyes with me. Lift through your toes, spread them, set them back down, and start to feel really, really rooted down through the four corners of both feet. You can have a softness in your knee, but go ahead and start to lengthen and strengthen through the body. So you're building your mountain pose from the soles of the feet, reaching up through the crown of the head. You want to start to bring awareness into the thigh muscles, the abdominal muscles, the chest and the back, and even the arms as you press your hands together. Think about lifting your sternum up, your heart up towards your thumbs. Your breath can be just as it is for several rounds, but as you're able, go ahead and deepen. If you're open to doing so, maybe go ahead and set an intention for your practice. We'll take just two more. Good, and we'll go ahead and blink the eyes open. So we're going to start at the top of the body just to get things rolling. So release your arms out to the sides and your feet can stay just as they are. We're going to start with the neck. So you'll drop your chin towards your chest, roll your shoulders back and down. And hands can rest at your thighs or just let them hang open. Keeping those shoulders rolled back, lift your chin and look over to the left. Over to the right. And then back to center. We'll slowly take the eyes to look up. We're going to focus more on the throat here. Good, back to center. We'll stack the left ear over the left shoulder. So we want to check in, take that observation, really listen to the communication of the body. If the body is asking for more, you might take your left hand and place it on top of the head, maybe around the ear area. And you can take your right arm and reach down or reach out. I usually reach down. So I'm drawing this awareness into the neck, trying to relax through the jaw. We'll come back to center and we want to settle in stillness just for a moment. And we'll just simply switch. So stacking the right ear, observing. If you need more, you'll take that right hand, add to the head, reaching your left arm out or down. Gently drawing back to center, releasing the arm, and again tucking the chin. We'll look up one more time and then bring the head back to center. Next we'll inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, press the arms down. We'll do a couple of these. Take an inhale, reach up. Exhale, press down. This time when we inhale, we'll reach up. We'll go ahead and grab the right wrist with the left fingers and lengthen through the right side body. So keeping the abdominal wall strong, keeping the arm in the socket, but just getting a nice stretch. As we come back through the center, we'll separate the hands and we'll just switch. Same thing, grabbing hold of the wrist and encouraging a deeper stretch. Awesome, back to center we come. We'll release the hands all the way down. Another inhale, reach up, sweep up. We'll take the right arm under for eagle. Elbows drawing together and down close to your heart. Switch. Take a big inhale, reach up. On the exhale, left arm goes under for eagle. So we'll be moving forward from here. Take a big inhale, reach up. On your exhale, start to bend your knees, send your seat pretty far back, the crown of the head pretty far forward. It's a really slow swan dive down. And when we're able, we'll let the fingertips find the floor or blocks or maybe the shins or knees. We're gonna let the head release and hang long for a few moments. Shifting the weight to the balls of the feet, leaving the heels down, but keeping the knees plenty bent. We'll go ahead and grab the elbows if we like and start to sway. Just let everything go. Releasing the arms down. We'll inhale, come into a half forward fold. So remember, fingertips can come forward. We're trying to achieve that flat back. Still keep your knees bent here though. Exhale, full forward fold. Bend those knees, scoop yourself up all the way up. We're back in the mountain pose. So we'll move the feet just a little bit closer together. And you can have them touching if that's part of your practice. I prefer a little bit of space. And we're gonna continue on through 2 more half stone salutations. Take a big inhale, reach up. And on your exhale, we'll swan dive down again. We are bending the knees. We are being really, really mindful with how the back body is responding. Releasing into that forward fold. Inhale, lifting into that half forward fold. So lift your face, lift your chest, maybe smile. Exhale, forward fold. Bending your knees, generously scooping yourself up all the way up, back to the top of mountain pose. Just one more like that. Take a big inhale, reach it up. On your exhale, slowly taking that swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, all the way forward. Inhale, scoop yourself up all the way up. So from here, we'll build at the bottom of the fold. Take a big inhale, reach up. On your exhale, we're still being mindful, but maybe the back body is starting to respond. We're in our full forward fold. As we come to our half forward fold, this is where we're gonna move on from. So moving from our half forward fold, we're gonna step the right leg back to runner. Move your fingertips back to frame your foot and possibly come up onto your fingertips. Pressing away through the ball of the foot, extending through the heel. And then we'll go ahead and shift into a pyramid variation. So square your hips up as best as you can. We're just getting started, so don't go overboard with stretching into the hamstrings and don't lock the knees if possible, but maybe drop your chest towards your thigh, head a little bit closer to your knee if this is something that's accessible. We'll go ahead and lift the eyes, bend back into the knee, plant the right hand down. We're gonna take the left arm and move it back and forth several times just to warming up the shoulder joint. So the palm is facing the body. You're gonna start to really, really squeeze into the midline with the legs. Taking the arm forward, spinning it open, retract the shoulder blades back a little bit and focus on opening up through the chest. If your neck allows, you're gonna look up. If it doesn't, look down. Good, one more breath. Really squeeze into the midline. And come back to center. So we'll come back to our fingertips, pull the right leg in. I'll meet you in that half forward fold, lengthen through the spine. We'll exhale into our full forward fold. Bend your knees, scoop yourself up, all the way up. Exhale, you're in mountain pose. So we'll do the same thing, we're just gonna switch the legs. Take a big inhale, reach up. On your exhale, swan diving down. You're in a full forward fold. You'll inhale, lift into that half forward fold position. Moving from here, bending the knees, taking it to runner with the left leg. So again, really pressing away, starting to open up through the legs, through the hips. Shifting into pyramid. Just do your best to square up. Always return to the breath. Back to runner we go, and let's plant the left and move the right. So again, the palm is going to face the body, just to get some joint lubrication and warm up the shoulders before we start doing a lot of weight bearing. We'll spin it open, drawing the shoulder blades back, opening up the chest, squeezing into the middle. Good, and we'll meet back up in our runner. But from runner, we're going to go ahead and set the left knee down. pull the right knee back to meet it, and find our tabletop position. Moving through some cows and cats, go with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Start pressing down through the knuckles and trying to distribute your weight pretty evenly between the hands as well as the knees. We'll take one more and then we'll pause in the cat. So let your head just hang, but press away as high as you can. Let all that air be pressed out. And on the inhale, we'll come back to a neutral spinal position. We'll take a child's pose just for a moment, sending the seat back towards the feet and letting the arms reach forward, resting the forehead down. Take a moment here, check back in with your intention. And remember, at any time, if you need a break, child's pose is a great place to come. From here, with the arms reaching forward, we'll lift the head. We're going to walk the arms over to the left side of the mat, starting to activate through the right side body. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Good. Coming back to center, bringing the hands into a tabletop position, and then maybe one handprint forward. Curl the toes, bend the knees, lift yourself up into a little bit of a hover, kind of like a bear crawl. And we'll start to send the tailbone up and back for downward facing dog. So the first few moments in dog, I like to take the feet a little bit wider, sometimes the width of my mat, just to softly open up through the hamstrings and have a little bit more freedom to move. This is always yogi's choice. And then at any time you wanted to, you would move your feet back towards your traditional position. Maybe coming up and down on the toes several times. Starting to drive down through the heels. This is a great place to pause, shake your neck out. After you swallow, to open your mouth, stick out your tongue. And just exhale everything out. From downward facing dog, we're going to go ahead and look forward, come way up onto the toes, bend the knees, and press away for a moment. So it's like a little baby squat. From here, you're going to use your lower body muscles to bring yourself forward and into half forward fold. We'll grab another full forward fold. Hanging out here for an extra couple of breaths, an option would be placing the hands under the feet, just to get the hands and the wrists ready for more vinyasa. Again, just kind of releasing through the neck. You can use your arms here to draw the body down a little bit closer towards the legs, but always be mindful. Drawing the hands out, inhale, coming into that half forward fold, exhaling into full. Let's go ahead and bend the knees, scoop ourselves up. We are back in mountain pose. All right, so we're gonna crank things up just a little bit. From mountain pose, you're gonna step back with your right leg into a high lunge. If you're okay, balance-wise, you'll go ahead and reach your arms up, finding a little bit of length in the spine, rolling the shoulders back and down. Really pressing away with the ball of the right foot, really rooting through the left. Squeezing into the midline with the thighs. Good. On your exhale, you're going to cartwheel your hands, frame your foot to find a downward facing dog. You'll take an inhale and an exhale. Sweep your right leg. Bring the right leg forward. We're in runner. From runner, you'll pull your left leg in, half forward fold, and then full. Bend your knees, scoop yourself up, all the way up. We've returned to mountain. Switching sides, inhale. Take your left leg back, find that balance. If you're able, reach your arms up, high lunge. Breathe. Good. On the exhale, cartwheel the hands to frame the foot. Step back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll shift forward into plank. So we're going to practice a strong plank where we're pressing the earth away. We've got a slight tug of the tailbone. We're really squeezing into the midline. Your modified variation would be setting your knees down. On the exhale, back to downward facing dog you go. Inhale, shift forward, grab plank again. Start to move those shoulders back. They like to creep up on you. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, shift forward, come into plank. Protract a little bit. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, come way up onto your toes, bend your knees, walk your feet forward. Half forward fold. And then full. Bend your knees, scoop yourself up, all the way up. Return into mountain pose. Inhale, reach and sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. We're gonna move from here. Bend your knees, take your right leg back to runner. From runner, take your left leg back, you're in plank again. We'll take a little shift forward, bend and hold, chaturanga, and then lay all the way down. You're gonna slide your fingertips back behind the shoulders, draw the elbows close towards the ribcage. Tops of the feet are rooted. From the forehead or the chin, you'll inhale, lift your heart. So kind of squeeze the shoulder blades back, active through the low body. Exhale, release down to your forehead. Inhale, lift your head, lift your heart. Cobra. Exhale, release down to the forehead. Inhale, curl your toes. You're going to press up to at least your knees or all the way up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, sweep your left leg, bring it forward, you're in runner. From runner, we'll pull the left leg in, half forward fold, full forward fold. Bend your knees, scoot yourself up, mountain pose. Inhale, reach and sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Moving from here, bend your knees, step your left leg back. Plant your hands, let your right leg join. We're in our good strong plank. Shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, this time we grab an up dog. So my up dog is super modified. It's more like a cobra. Shoulders rolling back, heart lifting, but I usually keep my knees down. Exhale, up and over the toes you go. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Remember to rest if needed. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to move from the back of the mat. So we'll take the right leg and extend it up. Bring the foot forward. Go ahead and windmill yourself up to warrior two. Moving those arms back, checking your alignment with your knee. Nice deep breath in. Long breath out. Do that again. Big breath in. Long breath out. We'll cartwheel the hands, frame the foot. I'll meet you in plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Couple breaths here. So the body should start to feel a little bit warmer by now. We're going to keep going from the back of the mat. The left leg rises. We bring it forward. We windmill ourselves up. We're in warrior two. Several rounds of breath. Nice job. Cartwheel your hands, frame your foot. I'll meet you in plank. And chaturanga. Downward facing dog. inhale. Long exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Another big inhale. Long exhale. Take your eyes forward, come way up onto your toes, bend your knees. Walk your feet forward. I'll meet you in half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, scoop yourself up. All the way up. Inhale, reach and sweep. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Again, moving from here. Bend your knees. You're going to try to plant your hands. Step whatever leg you prefer back to plank. From our plank position, we're going to move into a few side planks. So sometimes moving the left hand to the center of the mat or the right hand, if that's the side we're focusing on, is an option. But today, if you're able, you're just going to keep your arms stacked as they are. You'll start to turn and shift towards the left and just stagger your feet, reach your right arm up. Pull those shoulders back, squeeze through the thighs, lift through the hips. Coming back to plank, or just simply switching sides. Keep breathing. Always check that shoulder to wrist alignment. And back to center. Let's do one more. Shift over to the left. Side plank. Breathe. Back to plank. And shift over to the right. So from Phalakasana to Vastisthasana. And back to plank. Rest if you need. Otherwise, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take a second to regroup. Inhale. Exhale. Say it out loud. I am strong. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Sweep the right leg forward. Plant the foot as if you're in runner. Let's go ahead and set the left knee down. Walk the hands up to the thigh and catch our breath. Take a second to square ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. If it's appropriate, we'll go ahead and reach the arms up, sweeping, opening up through the chest. Start to lift your heart to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Cautious with the neck. If you have no issues, you can drop your head back a little bit. If you do have neck issues, maybe just think about keeping it in neutral. We'll draw the hands to the heart, take the left elbow across the right thigh, pressing the palms together, lifting and twisting. Really squeeze into the midline. We have a half camel coming up. Take a big inhale. And an exhale. And we'll meet back in the middle. So from here, we're going to reach the arms up, or take the right hand, place it on the heart, and or take your left hand back towards your heel. So reach and stretch and do the variation that's appropriate for you. Really rooting down through the right foot to take some of the pressure off the left knee. We'll come back through center, cartwheel the hands, frame the foot. I'll meet you in plank. So another alternative will just be holding your plank. Otherwise, you're going to chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Take that big inhale. And exhale. Do it again. Big inhale. And exhale. I am strong. Do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Here we go with the left side. Sweep the leg. Bring the foot forward. We're in runner. Let's go ahead and set our right knee down. Walk our hands up to our thigh. Catch our breath. If we're able, we'll reach the arms up. And same thing as on the other side. You're going to lift your heart to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Making this little heart opener, little back bend appropriate for your needs. Coming back to center, drawing the hands to the heart. Twisting the opposite way. So lifting the heart, pressing the palms together. Squeezing into the midline. We have our half camel coming up. So whatever you did on the other side is what you're going to do on this side. Really reach and stretch, lengthening through that body. Nice. Cartwheel the hands, frame the foot. I'll meet you in plank. From plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down. Couple breaths. So from downward facing dog, we're going to take the feet, the width of the mat, and start to turn them out a little bit. You'll use your hands to walk yourself back and drop down into a Malasana squat. So if this is not appropriate, you are always welcome to use your hands on your thighs and only squat to where your body allows. But if you have the flexibility to drop all the way down, go ahead and do so. We want to use the arms to open up through the hips by pressing against the legs. And we want to use the hands up towards the heart to help lengthen through the spine. If at any time this becomes extremely uncomfortable, go ahead and come out. If you're okay to hang out, we'll be here for a few more breaths. Focusing on the breath. Focusing on the awareness in the pelvic floor as well as the abdominals, the ankles, the knees, and the hips, and how much length you can create through your spine. We'll take the right arm pressing away through the leg, bringing the fingertips or the hand planted, whatever your preference is. Sometimes I'll leave my left hand at the heart. We're going to start to rotate and twist. If we're able, we might extend through the left arm, really reaching up and over. And then we'll come back through center. So same thing, you'll reach and press away with the left. Maybe your right comes towards your heart as you start to twist, and if you're able, you'll extend up. Keep breathing. Good. And back to center. Drawing the hands back to the heart, lengthening through the spine. One more time. So if you need a modified variation, you're going to start to slowly come out of this. Bringing your hands toward your thighs, slowly rolling yourself up, taking a moment. Usually the blood pressure shifts pretty quickly. You do not need that variation. From here, you will just really press through your feet, have that awareness in the rest of the body, and draw yourself straight up. Again, take a moment to settle, and we'll step back into about a hip width distance or so. Big inhale. Long exhale. Big inhale. Long exhale. So we're going to slow things down just a little bit to stretch out before we finish our quick practice today. So I'm going to return to the front of the mat in our mountain pose position, rolling the shoulders back. Hopefully your body feels a little bit more stronger and a little bit more energized. We'll take that inhale, reaching up. And on the exhale, one more time, we'll take our swan dive down. This time though, we're just gonna let it hang. Maybe shake our head out again. Maybe separate the feet hip width distance again. And possibly grab those elbows and sway. Block handy, you can use it for this next one. You just place it in front of you. I'm going to go ahead and lift it to the taller position. So I'm going to place my left hand on the block just to lengthen through my spine and bring it into more of a flat back position, really drawing in through the core. And I can have my feet hip width or so. I'm going to try not to lock out through the elbow and stack the arm bone here. Taking the right hand to the hip, we're going to lengthen through the spine, and as we exhale, we'll start to twist over. If the arm allowed, you can extend it out. My shoulder doesn't usually prefer that. Good. We'll come back through center and just switch. So again, lengthening through the spine, left hand to the hip, starting to rotate open. You can extend the arm up if you like. So there's a little softness in the knees. Good. And exhale. So go ahead and set your block off to the side. Heel toe your feet a little bit closer to the midline. Bend your knees and step yourself back into your tabletop. From your tabletop, we'll send the seat back for child's pose, resting the arms down in front of us, or if you like what I do, resting your arms back. If you
fingertips facing up, palms soft and open. Take a moment to connect with your breath, to connect with the beat of your heart. And if your heart rate is elevated, good, we did that on purpose. Check back in with your intention. Just a few poses to go to stretch us out. You're always welcome to continue your practice with a strap and any of the back line practice that we generally would do. But for now, we're just going to come back into our tabletop. Do about 5 rounds of cows and cats, slowing things down a little bit, getting our heart rate back down to a softer beat. Coming in to thread the needle next, from a tabletop position, take your right arm out to the side. If you had the capacity, you could open up a little bit more. Reach it through. So rolling into that right shoulder, leaving the left hand as it is, or reaching it up. If you like the wrap variation, go for it. Keep breathing. Really drawing your awareness in the shoulder blade area. Take a couple more breaths. And we'll take the left hand and slide it back to tabletop. It is a weight bearer to help us get back to where we started. And we'll switch. So left arm out to the side. You can open up a little bit more if you have the availability. And finding your needle thread on this side. We're breathing and releasing any tension, not just in the side bodies, not just in the shoulder blade area, but in the neck and in the jaw. So from here, we'll slide that right hand back down and into tabletop. We're going to cross forward on the mat, cross at the ankles only if that's appropriate for your knees and your ankles. And we'll go ahead and roll all the way down. So pausing here for a moment, letting the back body rest on the mat, maybe rolling around just a little bit. If this is too much for your body, you can go ahead and set the feet to the floor and do a few windshield wipers. I'm going to join you there in just a moment. We'll set the feet to the mat and take them a little wider than the hips. Relax the arms out to the side for a moment and just feel that body resting on the mat. Start to take your legs in any fashion you like here. Slow windshield wipers, fast windshield wipers. As I say all the time, I guess it depends on what kind of car you're driving. Back to center, release everything. Start to heel toe the feet back to the midline. We're going to let the soles of the feet meet in the middle and come into bound angle. So there's several different things you can do at this point. Go ahead and adjust through the back of your hips and your bottom flesh. If your knees allow, you can draw your heels a little closer to your seat. Your arms can stay relaxed as they are. You can even turn your palms down, or you can practice placing one hand, usually your right, over your navel, left over your heart. If you have the time to dedicate to a shoulder or chest opener as well, you would cactus or football field goal the arms. So you want to make sure your shoulder blades are kind of nestled on the mat. You want to feel your sacrum and your tailbone down, your rib cage touching. And we allow the breath to simmer down. Inhale and exhale. Come to that place of gratitude for what your body does each and every single day, even if you don't have the privilege of stepping onto your mat. From the moment your eyes wake and your feet touch the floor, you're really pretty blessed. If at some point bound angle becomes too much, you'll just simply extend the legs out long. Maybe let the arms extend out to the side and find a Shavasana position. Again, coming back to your breath. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. Enjoy some time in quiet, just listening to your breath. If you prefer instead to use this time for meditation or prayer, you are welcome to do so. Maybe coming up to a seated position, supporting yourself with a meditation cushion, a bolster, or just simply using the wall. When you're finished, start to move slowly. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Blink your eyes open. Maybe even bring awareness into your neck by gently turning your head side to side. You're going to start to bend through the knees, coming back into bridge prep. Dropping the body over towards the right, resting in fetal position. As you press up, you'll use the strength of your arms, coming into a seated position that feels just right to you. And take that moment in quiet with your eyes closed or casting downward. Thanks so much for joining me for this practice today. I hope it gives you all the strength and the energy you need to get through your day.